What's going on, everybody, man? We are discussing, man. Today I'll be talking about the Lakers, man. Lakers hired Lakers hired JJ Redick. JJ Redick is the new coach of the Lakers, man. What y'all think? How y'all feeling out there? Well, what do I think? I think we didn't have a whole lot of options when it came to who we were going to hire. You know, that's that. We didn't have too many choices. It's either JJ Redick, who seems like a real smart dude. Used to play in the NBA, was pretty good. He's always people have always talked about how he was a smart guy, how he knew the game. LeBron James, of course, they do that podcast, and of course, I haven't watched too many of those podcasts, so I can't really talk about how I feel about him from that because, like I said, I didn't really keep up. I watched a couple of those episodes, but but at the end of the day, JJ Redick, I mean, he's a decent young hire, I guess. He doesn't have any coaching experience, of course. So, with that being said, we're gonna have to see. Like I said, we didn't really have too many other options to go with when it came to who's going to be the Lakers coach because try to get Bobby Hurley, that didn't work out. He didn't want to come to the Lakers, so we did what we had to do. We hired a young kid. Hopefully, he gets respect from the team. He's only 39 years old. I believe LeBron is 39. LeBron is older than him. JJ Redick's birthday is in June. LeBron is in December, I believe. So that's going to be interesting right there. We don't even know if LeBron is coming back, to be honest. LeBron hasn't even signed yet. I believe we're going to have to wait until after the NBA draft. The NBA draft is on the 26th, a Wednesday, I believe. So we're gonna have to see. Are the Lakers gonna draft Bronny James? Who knows? I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see. All right, everybody. I'm gonna be also recording this, even though I'm live right now. As you know, I don't do too many lives, but I'm also recording this from a podcast, Lakers Talk with Gerald. Which I post on. I use Podbean, but I also, it's available on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcast. Like they all say, wherever you get your podcast. But yeah, man, we're gonna be talking about these Lakers. What we think about JJ Redick. I want to know everybody's opinion. How we feeling? JJ Redick, is he gonna be a good coach? Is he gonna be around for long? I mean, he signed a 4-year contract. I don't know the numbers. They haven't said that, so we don't really know yet. All right, so we don't really know the numbers. What JJ Redick is going to get. All right, welcome anybody. I want to know everybody's comments. I want to know what everybody feels about the Lakers hiring JJ Redick. The way I feel is, I mean, we have nothing to lose by hiring JJ Redick. At the end of the day, Ham wasn't cutting it. I just felt like Ham didn't know how to. He didn't know how to set a good rotation. He wasn't consistent with the starting lineup. He kept changing. He took out D'Angelo Russell. He's taking out and Reeves in the beginning of the season. He just, you know what I mean. And then he kept playing certain lineups that just wasn't working. I felt, and and then he didn't know when to make timeouts and the correct substitutions, things like that. Things like that. It just didn't work. So I believe like JJ Redick, being a student of the game, being a smart guy, previous experience. Like I said, we have nothing to lose. A lot of people believe. A lot of people have been talking like, oh, he could be like the next Pat Riley. Who knows? We don't know. It's educated guess. It's kind of like a crapshoot sometimes when we hire these coaches. We don't know how they're going to be. He doesn't have any experience to go by as far as coaching. He just has that knowledge. And now there's been some first time coaches out there that did really good, did really well. Um, but yeah, and so you never know. Um, hey there, Brady. How you doing? Oh, I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Huge fan of my channel. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, this is actually the first time I've gone live, so that's why you haven't caught me. I'm always just doing the audio, um, which I don't know why I haven't gone live before or very often. But yeah, I've always been, man. I'm always keeping up with the Lakers. I'm always doing my podcast, Lakers Talk with Gerald. Sometimes I take a break in between, so you'll notice sometimes, even though I have what it's 195 episodes so far, because I've been doing it for over like 3, 4 years, something like that. But um, every now and then I've taken some gaps in there, which I need to get more consistent with. But that is what it is. But back to talking about these Lakers and JJ Redick. I want to know what you think. So Brady, what do you think about JJ Redick? Do you think that's a good choice? Do you think? I mean, we signed him for 4 years. I don't know the money. Well, I heard it was somewhere around 8 million a year, which I believe that's kind of high for a first time coach that's never coached anywhere. But um, yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. Yeah. I mean, I I'm a little skeptical, but at the end of the day, I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? I mean, look, because Ham was a first time coach. He didn't seem to be. I mean, he was great at motivational talk and trying to hype people up. I mean, so he's one of those guys. Like he's a good motivator. He talks a big game, and he's always like, man, yeah, yeah, But when it comes to the X's and O's, it's like it's hard to. I never saw what he was doing when it comes to like, okay, let's make some plays. Let's do this. When it came to the when it came to like the strategy of the game, I guess is what I'm going with. Um, yeah. What do you say? Going to give him a chance, but would have gotten opportunity if he was black. Um, yeah, that's a good point you may have made. You make started as assistant if he was black. Rondo has higher basketball IQ. Rondo will be the one calling the plays. So did he actually? I heard that he was looking into getting guys like Rondo and like a few other players as assistants. Is it confirmed that he actually got Rondo? Um, I mean, at the end of the day, like I'm kind of with you, like I said, without any coaching experience. But at the end of the, like even he hasn't had assistant coaching experience. At least Ham had some assistant coaching experience. I was gonna say, I mean, you could be partly right on him getting that experience, getting the call up, not being black, cause, or excuse me, if him being white, because hey, that could be a real thing sometime. But yeah, at the end of the day, man, I'm ready to see what could happen. Let me see. Rondo, we want plays. Not yet, but I want him hiring Rondo. I don't think Ham was fired because he was black, but I would have liked to see the Lakers hire another black coach. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was saying though. Is like earlier is that I don't know how many options we really had. There wasn't a whole lot to choose from. I think Monty Williams, right? Like I think Detroit had just fired him, and I believe he's making a bunch of money. He still has earned a bunch of money under that contract. So I mean, that was a possibility. But the only problem with that is we back when we before we hired Ham, I think back when it was uh the other coach that we were going to try to hire back when damn, I'm forgetting his name. He ended up going and coaching in Phoenix, and he got fired. The coach that got us the championship. So right when that was happening, we had offered Monty Williams amount of money or a contract, but it wasn't high enough, so he rejected that. Yeah, that's right, Vogel. So we had tried to give Monty Williams a number or a contract, but it wasn't long enough. It wasn't enough money. So Monty Williams ended up deciding going somewhere else. And so I think if we were to try to go back, I think he probably would feel some sort of way that were trying to lowball him the first time. Um, I will say with Mark Jackson, I like Mark Jackson, or I used to like Mark Jackson. He's been out of coaching so long, and he's been doing that play by play for so long. Um, I wonder. I mean, I heard that at one point we heard that he was blackballed around the league. The word was out that none of the teams were even wanting to interview him or hire him, and it feels like it's still that way for some reason. The other thing too is, as he's been doing that play by play, you know, I don't know. I do feel like somebody should give Mark Jackson a chance. Somebody should give Mark Jackson a chance. I don't know if he was even interviewing or putting his name out there now for coaching. But yeah, I do feel like because he was the one that got Golden State right before the coach that they have now that stepped in and took over. Like he got them right, was building them up, got them to be a disciplined team. So at one point, I feel like he was a good coach. But man, what? Also want to talk about. I want to talk about the NBA draft. NBA draft is coming up. NBA draft is on the 26th of June. I don't know what time, but the big topic is Bronny James, LeBron James' son. He's in the draft. He's declared. He's not highly rated, so everybody thinks if he's going to get drafted, he's going to go in the second round. But of course, because he's LeBron's son, that's going to make people want to draft him because LeBron said a few years ago that he was going to do whatever he could do to play with his son. He said that a few years back when he's at the Cleveland All Star weekend. He was like, "I'm gonna, I'll do what I have to do. I'll play for any team." He said that he's money isn't an option. He's willing to take less to play with his son, blah, blah, blah. Right. So recently, a few days ago, Rich Paul came out and said, "Oh no, he'll play, that's not true anymore. He hasn't really thought about playing with his son, and he'll play for he's not gonna play for pennies, basically." And so he's trying to dispel that rumor. I don't know. I mean, I still believe LeBron wants to play with his son. I still believe he wants to play with Bronny. Rich Paul even said, Rich Paul even came out and said that even if Bronny signs with the Lakers, that doesn't guarantee that LeBron is going to re-sign with the Lakers, which I think that's cap. I think that's bull. I think if Bronny signed with LA, LeBron definitely would re-sign. That's my opinion. I don't have any insider information. That's my opinion and that's my thoughts. Um, I think he's Rich Paul just trying to put that out there to try to, I don't know, sway other teams from trying to get Bronny. Basically, that's what I feel. He didn't want any bad teams picking him because LeBron's not going to just go re-sign for the minimum, and I even believe that's against the bargaining agreement. They did it so things like this can't. It'll devalue other people's kind. If LeBron, arguably the greatest player of all time, still top 10 in the NBA right now, in my opinion, goes to play for the minimum, that's gonna then other people signing, teams and owners could that'd be a reason for them to say, hey, why don't you take a little less? LeBron took less, why can't you take less? And that's people's livelihood. People trying to make money, people trying to feed their family. So um, is what it is. Um, so don't take chances. Pick Bronny at number 17. I mean, Lakers could do that. Lakers could do that. But everybody's gonna be like, "What? Y'all picked, him up at 17?" There's gonna be a lot of controversy if that happens. If they pick him at 17 and then maybe there's some better players and all these other players end up popping and being really good, and it's gonna be that forever thing that we get anyway. Oh man, we picked when we picked Ingram and we picked those guys, like, we passed up on Jalen Brown, we passed up on Jason Tatum. Yeah, it'll be the same thing all over again. Like, what? Y'all picked him at 17 and you passed up on this generational talent, and you could have got him at 55 or whatever, you know. At the end of the day, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That'll be a shocker if they do take him at 17. Um, I think what's going to happen too is, and they've done this. Other NBA players have done this. they've put the word out that, hey, if other teams sign him, he's not going to play for you. He's just not going to sign. So other teams may not take that risk if the word is being put out. I heard Austin Reeves. I heard the reason why he didn't get drafted. He went undrafted, right? Austin Reeves went undrafted. The Lakers ended up signing him. But I heard the reason was because the Lakers had already kind of talked to him and told him, hey, we're going to sign you. And Austin Reeves ended up telling other teams not to draft him. And because he had a promise that the Lakers were going to sign him. So, that sort of thing can happen. And, the word can be put out. I don't know. It would be nice to see Bronny play, and then if somehow he pops and becomes something big, because he has LeBron's genes, man. He has that. He does have. He's super athletic. They say he's really good. He's really good defender. He's about 6'3", give or take. I think they list him at 6'4", but he's a small guard, but he's super athletic. He's quick. He says he has smarts and he has a nice little jump shot. He has a, decent, okay 3-point shot. He's no sharpshooter. I mean, he's decent. I don't remember his numbers in college weren't that great, but as you remember, he had that heart problem and, he was on a limited playing time and he didn't get to really, start the season. So, and he didn't really get like major playing time for what I understand. I didn't really watch all his games, but his numbers were pretty low and weren't too great, but it looks like he has, a lot of potential, a lot of major potential. And so, you know, I'm definitely interested to see what Bronny James looks like. And I can't wait to see what he looks like playing next to his father because his father is going to unlock amazing things. I mean, LeBron is so damn smart. He understands the game. He understands how to get players' full potential out of them. But what do you guys think? Anybody think that, what do y'all think about Bronny James' potential? Do you think he will be a good role player in the NBA? Do you think that he will get even better than a role player? Do you think he will become a player that can, uh, I don't know, even be a starter in the NBA? You never know with these things because look, we've seen guys, you know, yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I do believe LeBron is definitely, up there on GOAT status. Um, But yeah, I would love to see Bronny James on this team, and I want to, like I said, I want to see. I think a role player definitely would be his starting, ceiling. I guess right now until we see what what he looks like in the NBA. Now, I will say that I saw Bronny played. They did back when he was in high school. His team was playing. I don't know if it was a tournament, but they came and played at the Crypto Center, and he balled out that game. He was making jump shots and 3 pointers, and he was looking really good. And he looked like an NBA talent in that little whatever that game was. So if that had anything to do with it, like I mean, and it showed that maybe just like his father, like he doesn't get scared in big moments. You know what I mean? Growing up as LeBron's son, just imagine like you grow up, your dad is like the best in the NBA and being in the shadow of that. So I'm sure like, he doesn't seem to climb up under pressure. And yeah, I'm with you on LeBron James, man. That's amazing. Let's talk about LeBron for a quick second. Come on now. 21 years he's played so far, and this dude is still looking. I mean, still top 10 players, still getting up there. Still, he averaged over 40% from three. He averaged over 25 points a game for the 20th straight year. Some 20th straight year, averaged over 25 points a game. No other player has done it more than 13 times. I think Durant is the only player that's right there with him 13 straight times, and that's active. Anybody after that, it's only 12 straight times, and it's not even straight. I believe Jordan has like 12 seasons over 20